Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us today. We are very glad that you are joining this session so we can share more information about your new campus in downtown Toronto. So we will start by we want to get a little bit, we want to know a little bit more about you guys. So if you can please share in the chat which city or country you call home and what emoji describes how you are feeling about joining the IGS. For me, my city or country, it's in South America. I'm from Ecuador originally, but I call Toronto my home for the last 14 years. And the emoji that describes how I'm feeling right now is, the one that has the glasses. It's just because we have been preparing all these great activities to welcome you all to our campus. So if you can please just share which country or city you call home, and we will just be getting to know each other a little bit better. So I have seen here that Sonia and Titu are just typing, which is great. I'm happy that everybody wants just to share a little bit of themselves. So our associate director Todd, he's from Toronto, and the emoji is the two fist bumps that are just like hi. We have Patricia, she's from Colombia, she's from South America like me. Hi, hola, happy to have you here. We have Justine, Diana from Mexico, okay, great. Latinos in the house, I like that. We have in here, we have Titu that is from Vietnam. And you're already in Canada, great. We have, namaste. Hey, we have some people from India. Justina is from Philippines. We have Sahil from Mumbai. Sonia is from Punjab, India. Great. Hi, everybody. I'm glad that you're sharing with us your city or your country of origin. Maybe some of you are still in this part of the world, but this time is around dinner time. So I hope that you grab something to eat before you join us, but we're happy that we have you all in here. So few things that I want to share before we start. It's that if you can please keep your microphone on mute, is just to make sure that we don't have any interruption with our presenters. If you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to put them in the chat. People from our team will be answering them as soon as possible. And if not, don't worry, we will, at the end of this presentation, we will have some Q&A, so you can ask any questions in the chat. But in the meantime, please just use the chat. And finally, I'm sure that you saw the little red button in your left. This meeting is going to be recording. It's just to make sure that those people who were unable to join us today, they will still have access to all this great information. So finally, we have Harleen from Punjab, India. Hi, Harleen. And great. And I see Patricia, she has the happy emoji. Sonia also the happy emoji. I see that people are happy. I'm glad. I know that winter is a little bit scary, but don't worry. I have been in this country for 14 years. It's not that bad. So you will like to see the snow. So next we will go, I will ask you to please take a minute to scan that QR code so you can mark your attendance. In a few more minutes, my colleague Todd will just share more information about this great tool that is our IGS portal. And we just want to make sure that you mark your attendance so we know the people that came in, so we know which people have been giving this great information about your IGS campus. So I will just give you a few minutes for you guys to scan this QR code. If you have any trouble, please use the chat and somebody from our team will be able to help you out. So if you can please, also you have on the top, you have React. So send me some thumbs up if you are able to scan that QR code. I like to see your reactions or a happy face or whatever you want to send us, okay? Thank you, Todd. Again, don't forget to use the chat if you have any issues scanning that QR code. Okay, so I want to let you know that like a week ago, all our advisors, including myself, we record this video for you. So we will be presenting you all our advisors. So during this session, we will have few videos that we'll be presenting you. Also, we will be stopping those videos just to interact with you. So we have some activities for you so we can get to know a little bit more about your IGS campus. So next we will be, I will be introducing myself, who is this person that has been talking like crazy for the last 6 minutes. My name is Evelyn Robolino. I'm your student support advisor. You will see me on the fourth floor. Like you guys, I was an international student many years ago in the US. So I can relate to a lot of emotions and things that you're feeling right now, coming to a new country. So I just want to introduce myself very briefly, and you will get to know more about my portfolio and what I will be supporting you in the next few slides. So next, I will take a minute because we always want to start. This is something that you will get familiar as you come to Canada, is that we always take a minute just to acknowledge that the Canada has been protected and preserved by the Indigenous communities. So we always take a minute to reflect on that. So today I will be presenting the land acknowledgement. So we acknowledge that the land that we are meeting on is in the traditional territories of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, and the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat people, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. Toronto is covered by the Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit, also known as the Toronto Purchase, and it is in the Dish with One Spoon territory, which is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and Haudenosaunee, bounding them to share the territory and protect the land. Indigenous nations and people, Europeans, and all newcomers have since been invited into this treaty in this spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. Thank you. So next, we will go with the first portion of our video. So you will get to meet our principal, and I will be with you guys in just a second after the video is gone. Don't forget that you can just post any questions in the chat. Give me some thumbs up if you can hear the video.
I think Tejo may have to click share audio on the share screen, Tejo, on the previous screen. When you press share at the top, I think.
Sorry, give me a second.
No worries, just a hiccup in here, guys. Just give us 1 minute. Thank you. Of this video. Please give me some thumbs up if you can hear the last part. Welcome to the IGS. We are very glad that you are tuning in to learn more about your IGS campus at downtown Toronto. My name is Evelyn, and I'm student support advisor at the IGS, and I will be presenting the first half of this video. What you can expect to learn after watching this video is to utilize the Ask the Question at the IGS portal, explain the IGS hubs, and finally to reflect on the programming that you need to attend during orientation. Here I have a very brief outline of this presentation. We will start with the principal's welcome, followed by My Humber platforms, MyIGS portal, the startup schedule that we have prepared especially for you, an introduction to the IGS hubs and their advisors, and finally, a few tips about the IGS facilities.
Welcome to the Humber International Graduate School for the January 2024 winter semester. My name is Diane Simpson, and I have the distinct pleasure of being the principal of the Humber IGS. We opened our doors virtually in 2021 to just over 100 students in 4 different programs. And today we've grown to a vibrant community of over 1,700 international learners in more than 15 programs in technology, business. We're so glad that you have chosen the IGS for the next step in your life journey. We're located in the heart of one of the most culturally and vibrant, diverse cities in the world. And we are certain that you will find the IGS to be a hub of bustling activity, many opportunities. The IGS is purpose-built to support international learners like yourself launch education and careers in Canada. As IGS learners, you have access to many distinguishing features that are unique to this location, including our community and industry engagement course, which introduces you to the Humber learning outcomes, setting you up for success both in your program and in your careers here in Canada or globally. Our peer and career mentorship programs provide opportunities for you to build your social networks and make connections with industry, lining you up for success. The MyIGS Journey portal provides you with access to resources, appointments, and events, while the Employability Skills Hub provides a platform through which you can work on skills and competencies and articulate what you're learning both in and outside of the classroom. Through this session, you will have an opportunity to learn more about this unique and specialized programming here at the IGS. It will provide you with a glimpse into what you can expect when you start classes here in January. Buckle up because this is going to be a very exciting ride. And we know that you'll have questions and want and may need support when you're here. And we are here to guide you through this journey. Thank you for choosing Canada. And most importantly, thank you for choosing the Humber IGS for this important step in your life journey. We look forward to welcoming you here in January.
As an IGS student, you will have access to 3 different platforms. The first one is My Humber, which you are already familiar as you have been uploading your documents there. Also, you use this platform to reach to your classes. The second is Blackboard, which is your academic platform, where your professors will be posting announcements and also your homework. You will have access to Blackboard 24 to 48 hours before your first class. Finally, the IGS portal, where you will find all that is happening at your IGS campus. MyIGS portal is one of the most important platforms you will be using as an international student. At the IGS portal, you can ask any questions that you may have. For example, if you have concerns about your immigration, your study permit, or your work permit, you can ask a question about that, about fees, registrations, finding a part-time job. We're here to support you. Also at the IGS portal, you can book appointments with an IGS advisor and check the events that we are hosting. Overall, it is a great resource of information for international students. We suggest you to go to igs.humber.ca or to scan the QR code on the right side of this slide and ask any questions that you may have, and our team will get back to you shortly.
All
Diane.
right. Sorry, go
Great.
ahead.
So now I will just pass it to my colleague Todd, that is going to give you more information about this great tool. To you, Todd.
Awesome. Thanks, Evelyn. Appreciate everyone for joining us. Thanks so much for making the time for being a part of our conversation today. My name is Todd LeBlanc. I serve as the AD for student experience here at the IGS. I have the great pleasure of working with this amazing team who are going to hear from more in the rest of the session. But I'm also really excited to talk to you about what we're seeing right here, this MyIGS portal. I'm going to share my screen, take over, and I'll let my colleague Tejo take back over once I'm done. So let me pop that on right here. Give me 1 second. So in the chat, you should see a link I've given. It was also on the screen before. So it's igs.humber.ca. Earlier in the session, if you were here at the beginning, Evelyn had a QR code you could scan. So my first ask is for folks to click on that link in the chat. And if you can react with a thumbs up, if you're able to log in, and if you react with a heart, if you're having trouble. Those that did that earlier, I'm also going to follow up with you after I finish this piece of the session. When you log in, you're going to be using your Humber credentials. So that's your N number at humber.ca and your password, whatever you use for everything else. So that's called your single sign-on or your SSO. You should have a landing page like this when you get to that stage. So I see 3 thumbs up and no hearts yet. Normally I like hearts, but not for this particular thing. So hopefully get lots of thumbs up. See 4. Keep those thumbs up coming in the chat just so I know that we're doing okay with logging in. I'm going to share with you 3 pieces of this portal today, but this is a great tool, and I'll tell you why. It's designed to be a one-stop shop location curated for you as an IGS student in our community for all the supports and connections you need to being a student in our community. What does it really focus on? 3 things I'll highlight for you. So you should see at the top here, we have lots of widgets, lots of great content here. We have a menu bar that's going to probably be where you're most frequently using the portal. But I'm going to talk about three things. We don't have a lot of time to talk about this. I could go on all day. So 1, the events, 2, appointments, and 3, ask a question. That's what we're going to focus on today. And we're actually going to have you do some practice along with me. So if you have a way to split the screen, maybe I want to put like me on half the screen and put this on the other half, might be helpful for you as you're navigating our tool. Last thing I'll say before I start showing the platform is it's able to be, sorry, that's a picture of my son, but that there's a mobile side of this too. So if you want to go on like through your phone or through your tablet, this all works on all platforms regardless of however you're logging in. Okay, so let's go into the events piece. We'll go appointments and then we'll close out with ask a question. So on the events piece, naturally, at our campus, we have lots of really cool things happening in the community. And so, if you were to click on events, you'll be able to see what's coming up really soon and events that you're eligible to be booked for. So these things, what will only populate are things that are eligible to your population based off your program, your semester of study, whatever that may be. For example, our my colleague Teja, who's actually just sharing her screen right now, Teja oversees our student ambassador program, and so they're actually running a Beyond the Stress yoga de-stressing workshop. We're in the exam period, final assignments. People are a little bit concerned and worried. Well, how do we take some de-stress out of that? We target some programming for that. If students were interested in joining any program in advance, and maybe you already did this because you got the welcome email from us already. Maybe you want to join a virtual tour. Maybe you want to join a de-stress event. Maybe we're having an end of semester reception. You can click on the events and you can book yourself in the event right here. Some of you, if I looked at the actual event for this, 24 of you booked, but only 4 of you have attended. I want to show the difference of that as well really quickly. So if I book the event, you get a notification via email to your inbox, and you have the chance to also add it to your calendar as a reminder of saying, oh yeah, I had that end of semester reception where all these folks are going to get together. Sounds like a great time. I want to make sure I don't want to miss that. But you can also check into the event when it begins. So for this particular event on Friday, December 15th, once 6 o'clock happens, this booked location will change to the word check-in, and then you can check into the event. So for today, earlier in the conversation, we had that QR code. We're going to show it again toward the end. We want to make sure that you're checking into the events, and I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. One is for you to look back and see all the things that you've done, and we've actually attributed skills and ways that you can reflect on and build on your experiences being here as an IGS student. The second part of it, it's also for us. We're saying if students are checking into programs, we know that that's a really good, meaningful for students. They want to go to those kind of things. Let's do more programs like that. So if you want to kind of say, hey, have your voice in your community and how you can impact the direction we do programming here at the IGS, be sure you book and check into programs. Okay, so that's the events tab. I would encourage you to explore that. Again, there is a lot of content we have here at the campus. This is just in the next few days, but you can see multiple pages of programs and events here at the IGS campus. Some are virtual, some are in person, some are hybrid. Let's talk about appointments next. So again, along the top of the bar from the landing page, you can do that there as well. It's the same thing. So appointments right there. You can also press appointments through this widget right here. And last thing on the upcoming events, you can also see what's upcoming by the nearest date relevant to you. So we have a financial literacy session happening later on today, which is super cool. So you can check out what's kind of going on that way. Let's go to appointments. On the appointments tab, what we've done over the last 2 years is captured all the questions students have asked, all the queries students have emailed us about, and said, okay, what are the most common concerns that students have? Because maybe you don't know what that exact wording is, or you don't know who to ask for. What we've done is we've changed the appointment schedule and structure to be about connecting on student concerns, not about departments and resources and who the people are. We know it's difficult enough navigating a new campus and new community. Let's make it as streamlined and as simple as possible. The way we've organized it in 3 ways. Evelyn mentioned at the very top of the session, you're going to learn about the hubs. We're going to talk about the hubs later on in the next video, I believe. But there's 2 hubs that we have that are really critical to your success here at the IGS. One is the IC Hub, the Industry and Community Connector Hub. You'll learn about that, and they're focused on career and employment. That could be a survival job, it could be your co-op, it could be your networking for jobs in the future. My colleague Micah on the call here, hey Micah, works partially with the IC Hub, and we'll talk more about that later on as well. But maybe you have questions about like your LinkedIn profile, or want to get practice for an interview, maybe like just your networking skills. How do I do all these kind of things? You can click on those, you can book an appointment, see who's available. You can see right now there's 3 appointments booked for today. Maybe December 21st, you're available. And oh, look, we have a conversation with my colleague Kim. Amazing. You can do drop-ins, you can do booked, you can do virtual, you can do in-person appointments. Lots and lots of flexibility in our structure of appointments here. And that's based off of subject is how we want to structure these. Evelyn, for example, maybe you have questions about registration and fees or enrollment. You're probably going to have a lot of those at the start of the semester if you haven't already. So you can book a conversation with Evelyn. You can see, so she's a pretty popular person, not a lot of availability, but that's okay. There'll be time in the start of the semester. So for example, Evelyn, who we're talking to here, let's book with her virtually on the 19th. Great. You'll see the little Windows location or logo here. That means it's gonna be a Teams call. You can book with Evelyn right here. So hey, Evelyn, we're booked for the 19th. But you know what? Oh shoot, I'm busy. I can't make it anymore. Let's make sure that we cancel those appointments because other students want to get in there. So we can press the red button. We can cancel and say I no longer wish to attend. All this to say, we're here to support you, and the IGS campus has lots of resources and connections, but we're looking for you to take that first step to reach out to us. So that's the appointments tab. I'd invite you to kind of explore that. There's lots of support and connections here, 3 major columns of connection. Okay, now your time for your work, your homework. We're going to go to the Ask a Question feature. I'm going to invite you to all do this with me here. So click on the Ask a Question, and it says here, thanks for reaching out to our team. Your question is going to be triaged by our team. So my colleague Iris is actually monitoring the chat right now. Iris is one of our 3 customer service advisors. Iris sits at our front desk. When you come to campus on the 4th floor, you'll have a chance to meet her in January. Hi, Iris. Thanks for putting in the chat. And so Iris is going to help triage and connect you with the right advisor when you ask your question. Our goal is to respond to you within a 24-hour, like get connected to the advisor. And then from there, based off workflow, priority of the question, we'll kind of get back to you that way. We're pretty quick. I can't guarantee an exact hour of response time, but I would say if you're going to email us, a lot of students like to email, especially Evelyn and Tejo, because they know that they're the advisors. They'll email Tejo, they'll email Evelyn saying, hey, if I do that, I'll be faster. We actually always prioritize our ask a question questions. So if you're emailing saying, I'm going to kind of cut in, it's actually not faster. We really encourage you to go through the portal. 2 reasons for that. One is we want to make sure that, let's say you talk to one advisor and then you have another question, the advisors can see the previous questions you've asked. So it helps us be a better advisor support to you. Second of all, is it's for us, we have multiple platforms. We want to centralize that for you to be one location, nice and easy, ask a question. Don't worry about who the person will be. We will triage your question that way. So let's practice. You're going to press ask a question. And maybe right now you have lots of burning questions. You're really excited about something. You're really concerned about a study permit hold. Maybe you have like a registration fee piece. Maybe it's an immigration element. Maybe it's, who knows? We want to know what it is. So I'd invite you to type in, maybe it has to do with like your work permit. You're like, do I get that when I come to the airport, or how does that work? And my question would be maybe like, how many hours can I work a week? If, I don't know, whatever it may be. Sometimes it pre-populates questions for you as well. You can kind of take a look at that. What I want you to do right now is to type in a topic, a question, and hit ask a question. If you also have like, maybe it's like a screenshot you had. I'm having trouble in my Humber. This is what it's seeing. You're always welcome to take a screenshot and toss it in there, or an attachment. Maybe it's a resume prep. You're meeting with Micah and somebody else. You can do that. Whatever that is, let's do that right now. So I'm going to say, put the ask a question in topic. Right, the question, we're going to take about 3-4 minutes here. If you don't have a question, just say this is a test. Just say test, and then we know you can do it. But by the end of the session, you want to make sure you have all asked a question. I'm going to stop. I'll say thumbs up whenever you have. So I have asked a question in the portal. I'm typing this right now. In the portal, smiley face, thumbs up. Okay, so thumbs up that whenever you have asked your question. I'm actually going to show you what the back end looks like too, which is kind of cool to get a bit of an inside scoop. Let's take a minute to do that. What I'm going to do, so I'm going to go on my other window, see when we have some questions come in, and I'll show you folks what it looks like. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you have already done it, which is great. Amazing. And you can thumbs up my question, my comment in the chat, just to let me know that you've done it. Please and thank you. 8 of you. Wow, amazing. Okay, we're getting there. Awesome. I'll give you maybe like 1 more minute, maybe 2 more minutes. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the back end. Now, I'm not going to share the actual questions that you wrote because those are private, but in terms of just how it looks at our end. So you can see my screen still. So questions come in. This is the admin side of the portal. So it comes in. So there's 14 questions pending for us in the portal. 9 of those came in the last 30 seconds. So we're actually pretty quick at responding to queries here. And so you can see some of you did test, love it. I'm going to look at one of the test ones, Diana, just because that's not like an actual question. So what happens is it comes in, and then my colleague, we can assign these. Oh, Iris, you're quick. Iris has already done this. So Iris has been triaging the questions as we go. So it just shows you that if you answer questions in the portal, ask questions in the portal, it's much, much, much faster than emailing us and spamming us with emails. So please don't do that. We really want to make sure you use the portal here. Okay, excellent. So Iris already beat me to it, but I was going to show you what happens is it gets assigned to all the different staff. So these are all the different advisors and supports we have in the IGS community. I'm not sure if you folks can see the list as I'm scrolling here, but wanted to kind of highlight that piece for you. Okay, excellent. Let's go back to the portal for one last second, then I'll yield my time and I'll go back to Evelyn. Like I said, this is a really cool tool for you folks. I encourage you to kind of explore, check things out. We're adding new features all the time. One thing you're going to see, it's going to look very different in the coming days on December 18th, is we're introducing a new platform called Skills Hub. I'm not going to tell you all about that right now because there's a lot of information on day one. But when you join us in January on the 4th, I'm going to take you through the portal again and also introduce this new concept called the Skills Hub. Super excited about that release. Lots of really great content there. And on this, Student Success Hub, you'll see on the landing page, orientation at IGS. Right now, here's all the programming happening. Congrats to you. Our first program is right now, and you're watching it either live or watching it as a recording. You haven't missed anything. I love it. But I invite you to come check out what's happening the rest of your time at Orientation and Startup at IGS. We have our first look at our services on the 3rd. We have a Meet Your Faculty on the 3rd, and lots and lots and lots of great content going on through the portal and through our community here. So we're looking forward to welcoming you to our community here in January. Love to see you on campus. Thanks for your time, folks. Back over to you, Evelyn. I'll type in the chat if you have any questions about the portal. Thanks, folks.
Thank you, Todd. Great, guys. So thank you for participating with us. You see how important it is for you to have this tool so you can ask any questions that you have. And like Todd said, at least I can speak on behalf of my colleagues, advisors here, Micah and Tejo, we take more, we're more in touch with the portal than actually our inbox in our email. So if you want to reach us faster, if you want to get a faster answer, it's always a great idea to use the portal. So now it's time for you to get to know a little bit more of the schedule that we have prepared for you for orientation that is on the first week of January, and also to meet our few of our advisors from the student experience team. So Tejo will just hit the video and I will get back to you after a few minutes. Now, I would like to share the startup schedule with you. Orientation will take place from January 3rd to January 5th. On the first day, we will have a first look to services and resources, followed by Meet Your Faculty, where you will have the chance to meet your professors and ask any questions that you may have about your academics and your program. On January 4th, we will have several workshops to promote students' engagement and also programming prepared for you for your first week of class. We will start at 10 a.m. and it will run until the afternoon. It's a great opportunity for you to meet other new students. Finally, on January 5th, we will have a curated programming to support students with their career needs and also to have a chance to meet the IC Hub team. By scanning the QR code on the right side of this slide, you can check all the details of the startup programming. We encourage you to attend as many workshops as you possibly can, so you can get more prepared for your first day of class. Before we start introducing our team, I want to highlight that you can contact all of our advisors by the IGS portal. You only need to log into your IGS portal and select the appointment option in the upper menu bar. Also, all our advisors have drop-in hours in which you can have a quick chat without the need of an appointment. You can scan the QR code to take you to the IGS portal. We will start with the Student Success Hub, which is located on the 4th floor. Here, you can find answers to your questions about immigration, student engagement programming, registration to your courses, fees concerns, and referrals to other departments. The student experience team is led by Todd LeBlanc, who is our associate director. You will meet Todd during the orientation week as he will be hosting workshops and programming. Next, you will meet our student experience advisors.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tejo, and I'm an international student advisor at Humber IGS. I was an international student at Humber a few years ago, so as a Humber graduate, I would like to give a big welcome to all of you. So what can I support you as an international student advisor, also known as ISA? Currently, there are 7 ISAs at Humber, 3 at the North Campus and 3 at the Lakeshore Campus, and I'm the only ISA at the IGS campus. We are licensed regulated Canadian immigration consultants, meaning that we are legal professionals who are legally authorized to provide immigration advising at Humber. As an ISA, I advise study permit extension, co-op work permit, postgraduate work permit, and any other immigration matters that your student status. Other than immigration advising, I support connection to the community through community hours. I coordinate community hours, but it is actually hosted by our student ambassadors. Through community hours, you will be able to connect with not only our student ambassadors, but also other students in the IGS campus. So community hours are programming for you to develop social connection and build meaningful relationship in the IGS community. There are several tips that I would like to share with you before coming to Canada. When you enter Canada, you will need to provide a letter of introduction to receive your study permit. Once you receive your study permit at the border, please make sure to review it on site before you leave the border. If you find any errors, such as typo on your name or a condition that authorizes you to work on or off campus is not included in your study permit, then request the border officer to revise your study permit right away. Also, if you have a mandatory cooperation in your program and you provided a co-op letter in your initial study permit application, make sure that you receive a co-op work permit as well, along with your study permit. Once you receive your study permit, and if you enter Canada through the airport, you may visit SIN clinic at the airport hosted by Service Canada. SIN is a social insurance number, and you need to have it to work in Canada. If your study permit has a condition that authorizes you to work on or off campus, you will be able to request to issue your SIN at the SIN clinic. Otherwise, you may visit Service Canada in person or request your SIN through mail or online. Once you receive your SIN and your study permit has a work authorization condition, you may be able to work off campus for up to 20 hours per week only after you start studying at school. Even though you have SIN, if your semester hasn't started, then you cannot work. So please make sure that you start working off campus after the program starts. That's all from me, and again, welcome to Humber IGS, and we look forward to seeing you on campus in January. Have a safe flight.
Hi again. So as a student support advisor, I will be supporting you with any questions you have about your fees, registration to your courses, and providing you with referral to other resources such as tutoring. The program that I lead is a startup. And the pro tip I can give you before coming to Canada is to please register to your classes. This will make your first day of class a lot easier.
Hello and welcome. My name is Micah Udenby, and I use he, him pronouns. I am the Career and Student Success Coordinator at IGS, and I will be leading you through the second portion of this welcome session. To begin, I would like to introduce you to the IC Hub, or Industry and Community Connector Hub. The IC Hub team is here to help you achieve your career goals. And this begins with even the foundations of resumes, cover letters, and interviewing in Canada, and professional skill development through the CIE course, workshops, and one-on-one coaching, through connecting with alumni and classmates to build your professional networks, in part with the IGS LinkedIn page, the alumni panel, and job development supports, all the way through engaging with industry mentors and building contacts through the career mentorship program, the MyIGS job board, and employer events. We're excited to support you with all stages of your career development. And I'll take a moment now to introduce the IC Hub team, who will also speak in more detail about the programs and supports they offer. To begin, Rena Demito is the IC Hub team manager, and you will certainly meet her through the events and programs that our team offers. Before turning it over to the rest of my colleagues, I'll take a moment to introduce my role specifically. As I mentioned, I am the Career and Student Success Coordinator at IGS. I support both with the Student Experience team, who I've already met, and the IC Hub team. In my role, I can provide guidance on all things career related, from resumes, cover letters, interviews, and job search strategies to larger career decisions, such as selecting second programs. I'm also here to help with challenges, questions, or concerns in or out of the classroom. If you're running into challenges and unsure of what supports may be available at Humber or in the community, I'm here to help understand your concerns and connect you with the best resources. In addition to these supports, I coordinate the peer mentorship program at IGS. This is a great opportunity to be connected with an experienced IGS student during your first semester here. As a peer mentee, you will have the opportunity to meet regularly with your mentor and learn from their experience and insights about strategies for successfully navigating your transition into Humber College and the Toronto community. You'll have a chance to learn more about the peer mentorship program during orientation week and at the kickoff during the first weekend of winter semester. Lastly, my two pro tips for you are: one, to connect with us on LinkedIn. We have a great community on LinkedIn where you will see opportunities, events, and even jobs posted. My colleague will walk you through finding the LinkedIn page shortly. In addition, I strongly recommend monitoring the IGS portal for upcoming events. There are a variety of wonderful events that happen at IGS, and they're all posted in the portal. So definitely keep an eye on it. Now I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues to introduce themselves and the programming and supports and services that they provide.
Hi, my name is Kim Morrison. I'm the career planner here at the IGS, and some of the things that I can help you with are your resumes, cover letters, also doing an interview preparation. If you have an interview coming up, we can do a practice interview. We can also help you with your job search. If you're looking for a job after graduation, or if you're looking for a part-time job while you're in school, or if you need help looking for your co-op, that's something that I can assist you with. I also run various workshops at the IGS, such as resume writing, interview prep, and volunteer workshop, networking workshop, LinkedIn. So those are all the things that I can help you with. I also have drop-in hours, so you can see me in two different ways. You can book an appointment with me through the IGS portal, or you can come to see me during my drop-in hours. If you go into the portal, you can see where my drop-in hours are and where my appointment times are. So I look forward to meeting you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elmira Lim. I'm a job developer with the IC Hub team. My role is to support you with co-op and internship placement. And I'm also supporting industry connections. So I connect with industry professionals and players within different fields to advocate on your behalf and promote our student talent to better support you with your career search journey. And the programming that I lead is campus recruitment events and career resources sphere. And you're welcome to connect with me during my drop-in hours every Tuesday from 11 to 12. I'm also available for virtual meetings. So welcome to IGS. I'm excited to meet you in person. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. I extend a warm welcome to IGS. I'm Viola Konomi, the program lead for career development, working within the IC Hub team. Within my portfolio, two prominent programs stand out. One is the Community and Industry Engagement course and the Career Mentorship program. Our CI course is a unique opportunity for first semester students to actively participate in the development of essential employability skills, align with the Humber's learning outcomes. These skills encompass communication, collaboration, critical thinking, systems thinking, and more. The course features a weekly series where you will interact with industry experts delivering insightful workshops that contribute to skill enhancement. The other program that I lead is the Career Mentorship Program, which is an invaluable offering connecting international learners with seasoned industry professionals. Engaging at a personal level with these mentors will provide you with insights into the nuances of successfully transitioning into the workplace. You'll refine your job search strategies, master resume building and interview skills, and gaining a deeper understanding of your target roles and industries. I look forward to meeting with you all during our first orientation for the CI course on Friday, January 12th at 11:40 a.m. Stay tuned for more information, which will be shared through Blackboard announcements and email communication. Wishing you a fantastic semester ahead.
Great, so that's us. That's all of my colleagues, including myself, our advisors. We are very happy and looking forward to meet you in January 3rd. So now we'll just pass it to my colleague, Micah, who's gonna be doing some activity with you. To you, Micah.
Thanks, Evelyn. Hi, everyone. My name is Micah Udenby, and I already introduced myself, but just a reminder, I'm the Career and Student Success Coordinator, and I'm part of both teams, the Student Experience team and the IC Hub. So I'd like to just take a moment to elaborate or just give us a chance to interact with some of the things that were shared in the video. So first of all, I mentioned, and my colleague also mentioned, the LinkedIn page. So there we have a private community called the IGS Student Career Hub, and currently there's about 1,400 students in it. So it's IGS students, specifically part of our community. So it's a really great way to build your network, but there's also a bunch of events and job and co-op and internship postings that we put there and information about upcoming opportunities. So I really encourage you to scan this QR code and visit the page and request to join. And then myself and my team will review and add you into the group. So I'm going to give us just a moment to do that. So if you want to scan this QR code and request to join the group, we can go ahead and do that. And also, if you don't have LinkedIn yet, that's fine. We're here to help as well. So when you do arrive and you want to connect and learn more about building your LinkedIn profile or getting started and how to leverage the tools and strategies that LinkedIn provide, that's something that we're really happy to help with. So you can also connect with us either through drop-ins or workshops or appointments too to work on your LinkedIn. Sorry, I got off track. So just we'll take a moment here. I want to give you a chance to scan this QR code. And Todd also put it in the chat to visit the page and request to join it. I just want to make sure it's working for folks. Let me just double check. Okay, wow, okay. So I've already got 8 more requests, so I'm glad it's working. Cool. So one other thing I want to share. So this is a really great way to connect with the community and to stay on top of what's going on and also begin to build your professional network, both with current students and alumni. One other thing I want to share, I mentioned that I coordinate the peer mentorship program. So I'm just going to put in the chat the link to the program information in the portal. So if you're interested in learning more about the program, if you want to apply or register to be a peer mentee, where you'll be connected with a mentor who is a semester 2 or higher student who will be able to share a bit of their insights and help you navigate some of the transitions and challenges that you might encounter as a new student. This is a great way to sort of have a bit of additional support and community as you begin your journey at IGS. So I'll put that link in the chat there for you to learn more about the program and also register. You can also connect with me if you have additional questions. Great, so I'll wrap up those 2 points there. Just wanted to introduce the IC Hub and the LinkedIn page, and now we'll transition into a bit of information about the campus and accessing our space. So we could go on to the next video to learn a little bit about how to access our floors and just some guidance about using the elevators.
Thank you to the IC Hub team for introducing their roles and programming. Before we wrap up, I would like to take a moment to introduce you to our building and accessing our floors. The IGS campus is located on floors 4, 5, and 6. So when you arrive at 59 Hayden, where the campus is located, you will see 2 sets of elevators. Our elevator is the one on the right. Please use the queue to line up for the elevator, but you can also use the stairs. If you ask the front desk, they will open the door to the stairs, and you can reach the floors without needing to wait for the line, especially when going between floors and coming down. Forward to seeing you on campus. You will certainly see us around, and please stop us and say hi. Thank you for learning a bit more about IGS, our team, and the supports we provide. And welcome again to the Humber International Graduate School.
Okay, thanks, Micah. So that's our session. I will pass it to Todd. So we will open the floor for any questions that you may have.
Awesome. Cool. This is great. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the conversation in the chat. It's been really, really good as well. Before we get to some questions, let's practice this check-in right here. So let's actually do it. So if you joined a little bit later, you were like, what's a check-in? So we explained how in the portal and events, we want you to book events. And then once you're at the event, you can check in. Now, if you're like, oh, shoot, I didn't book, that's okay. If you're checking in during the event, when you check in, it books you and checks you in at the same time. So how to do that, you can scan that QR code right there. That should bring you to the event page. You can press check-in. I'm going to look at it quickly on the side just to see how people are doing. At the same time, if you have any questions, you can start typing them in the chat. And I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of us looking at the chat right now. They're all going to be able to answer some questions for you. So, so 2 things. Let's check in and start writing some questions in the chat. Okay, I'm going to pull it up as well. And I will say, you know what? I know we were talking about this before, folks. We didn't want to do the audio, but it's a smaller group, so people are more comfortable doing like verbally discussing or asking their question. We're okay with that too. I just ask you to raise your hand using the feature. It should be about there-ish, I think, based off where my finger is. There should be a hand raised, and we can kind of triage it that way. Tutu, love it. We're getting one of you checked in. Love it. Okay. All right, let's start. So, and before we dive into the questions and start answering them, I'm going to say that some things, if we don't have the answer, we're going to ask you to ask a question in the portal, and we can get the right person to answer those later on. So you're talking to a lot of folks in the student success team, student experience team, and the IC Hub team. We'll do our best to answer. Okay, so Harsh, in terms of research opportunities, in my experience, my short answer will be yes, but that sounds like a really good question for your program coordinator. So in terms of if you have whatever your program of study is, when you reach out to your Meet Your Faculty session on January 3rd, that'd be a great question to ask at your Meet Your Faculty session on January 3rd. So the details of which I'm not too clear on, that's where I'd ask that question. It opens a link, Solomon. Maybe take a quick screenshot of what you're seeing, and we can help answer that question in the chat when you open the link. Okay, where can we get to know more information about the courses and the syllabus? Yes, exactly, Evelyn. January 3rd, Meet Your Faculty. You should have already received emails from Meet Your Faculty, from Student Success and Engagement, or the Humber Orientation team. That's for all of Humber. We're just the IGS team, but we're still under that Humber umbrella. That Meet Your Faculty session is super critical to join on January 3rd. Okay, what other questions do we have? As I'm doing that, I might pull up the check-in piece to make sure everyone's all checked in nice. How can I catch up and stay in the know, Savannah? First off, I love that you're like wanting to catch up, which is great. So I'm gonna do a couple quick screen shares, and then we'll kind of go back and forth. One is again on the portal. You're gonna see, if I go to the landing page, you'll see that orientation at IGS page, right? So we want to making sure that we're checking that. Some sessions are recorded, some sessions aren't. So today's session is recorded. Your Meet Your Faculty, it's a hit and miss depending on the program, because we don't run those. Your academic program runs those. Some of our other programs will be recorded. You can always, we're going to try and post some stuff on here. I will say if there are certain sessions you're really curious about, we can also, like, we're not saying, oh, you missed orientation, that's it, we're never having this conversation ever again. Come drop into the Student Success Hub on campus. Come see Evelyn, myself, Tejo, Micah. Come talk to our student ambassadors that Tejo mentioned with the Community Hours program. Drop into those. On the landing page, you'll see a link here for Community Hour. Make it a little bigger here for folks. You'll see Community Hours. That's what Tejo was referring to. That's drop-in programs. You can see the schedule. This is for the fall, but you'll have an updated schedule for winter. You can talk to like Wasana, one of our student leaders, and be like, hey, I missed this session. What did I miss? You can ask questions there. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so I'm seeing, I think you have to scroll down, Solomon. So scroll down. There should be a button that should, I think it's purple, and it should say check in. It says check in available, so it should work. Scroll down. I think you might have missed it by like one scroll. Okay. What other questions do we have? You know you have a bunch. I might defer this question to Micah if you're okay, Micah. And can you read the question as well for our folks that are virtual that are recorded? They might not be able to see the chat. So
Yep.
the question, yeah,
Are you
thanks.
talking about the question about placements?
Yes,
Yep.
please.
Yep. So the question here is, do placements for co-op happen through campus placements, or do I need to apply externally? So typically speaking, placements will take place or happen outside of the college, but the process for finding your placement depends quite a bit on the program you're in. So you'll learn, this is another great question for Meet Your Faculty, is to learn, or you will learn more about this as you progress in your program, is the sort of supports and guidance and the opportunities that your program coordinator or placement advisors will share with you. But typically speaking, placement opportunities happen outside of campus externally.
Awesome, Micah. Thank you for that. Maybe a question for Tejo. If I'm in a co-op program, do I have to do something when I arrive at the airport?
Yep. So if you have a mandatory co-op person in your program, and then when you submitted your initial study permit application, you provided your co-op letter, and then you will be able to get your co-op work permit together with your study permit at the airport. But sometimes the border officer doesn't issue the co-op work permit along with your study permit. In that case, request the border officer to issue your co-op work permit and also provide your co-op letter as well. Sometimes the border officer may say you can apply for your co-op work permit after you enter Canada. In the case, you need to separately submit your co-op work permit application after you enter into Canada. So if that happens, you can contact me to get to know more about the information about how to apply for your co-op work permit. I'll share the screen in the resources page in the IGS portal under the permits and visa. There's a workshop video regarding how to apply for your co-op work permit. You can refer to that video, and also we do have instructions on how to apply for your co-op work permit on our Humber website as well. And then I can guide you for more details if you like to. And then you can book an appointment with me through the IGS portal appointment page, which the Todd is showing right now on the screen. Yeah. Okay, I hope that answers.
Awesome, Tejo. That's great. Solomon, we'll deal with the check-in at the end. Don't worry, we'll get to that. Thank you for the flag, though. If you would do one more screenshot for me, what's below, that's really helpful for me just for learning. Tejo, thanks for that. Yeah, I wanted to we always want students to look into some of the resources that are available first, because sometimes it's a simple, like the video online is actually more instructive. So I wanted to kind of note that versus like booking an appointment, waiting for Tejo to be available, getting on campus or doing it virtually. It's easier sometimes to just look it up yourself through the videos we have recorded. These are commonly asked questions, but of course, always happy to meet students that way too. Solomon, no trouble at all. That's why we're here. We're answering questions today. Evelyn, you got it. Exactly. Okay. I'm looking for volunteer opportunities in Toronto, but don't know any trusted portals or platforms. Mike, I'm looking to you here, but maybe we can also refer out if you have your thoughts on that.
Well, actually, so in the first week of classes, there is a workshop specifically on volunteering, so strategies to find volunteer opportunities, but also platforms and ways to search for them. I think Todd is going to pull up when that workshop is. So this would be a great place to, yep, there it is, to answer your question exactly. So how can you find volunteer opportunities? What are the benefits of doing that? And what are some trusted platforms to find opportunities? So I would recommend going to this. If you can't go to this, then you can also, if this doesn't align with your schedule, you can also meet with us, come to drop-in hours. It's something we can talk about in more detail one-on-one as well.
Awesome. And so maybe if you wanted to right now to do, you could go in and book yourself for that event and you would have it already in your schedule. Thanks, Micah. I knew there was something. Perfect. Amazing. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. There you go. Okay. What other questions do you got? Let's keep them coming. This is awesome. Here we go, Tejo. SIN clinic. Do I need to bring any specific info like a Canadian number of sort, an address, etc.? What do I need to bring to the SIN clinic? I'll show the SIN clinic while you talk about it.
Yep. So to get your SIN, there are certain documents that is required. First of all, you need to bring your study permit, and that study permit needs to have a condition that authorizes you to work on or off campus. And also, they will need to have your identification documents, such as your passport or any ID issued by the Canadian government.
I want to make a
And
note here, Tejo. Exactly. Sorry, if
yeah.
I can jump in really quickly. So we're working on arranging a SIN clinic to happen on campus. A lot of folks, as Tejo mentioned, you get your SIN, you process it at the airport when you land, right, Tejo? Am I correct in that? But if that somehow maybe you miss it or something doesn't happen, we are offering a SIN clinic on campus, and this webpage will be updated. We're looking for what, January 17th, I believe I saw, Tejo, in the emails? Or
Yes, that's January 17th. Yeah.
January 17th. So we're going to add that to the schedule here as things go. So again, continue coming back to the orientation at IGS info page because this schedule is a little bit dynamic. We're adding a few more pieces as we go along here. Excellent. Savannah, great question. Okay, so how do I access events and recreation activities at other campuses? For example, the gym at Lakeshore. Let's talk about the gym actually, because that's a very specific example. So in terms of the gym, as a IGS student, you have access to Toronto Metropolitan University, or TMU's gym downtown Toronto. So you're able to go to the Lakeshore and North Campus's gym. They're quite far away from our campus, whereas just about I think it's an 11-minute walk, Evelyn, down the road from us is where you can find the TMU gym. Just for a quick visual, you're like, what is TMU? I'll do a quick show for you. So we're downtown Toronto, IGS. Come on, Google. Let's pull it up here. There we go. Boom. And then in terms of getting to TMU, what's it? Rack, right? The rack. There we go. Boom. So
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I lied. It's 23-minute walk, but it's a 13-minute transit. So we're pretty close. Just south of us is a great facility. We have two facilities you have access to, and so you should receive an email from TMU. It's only for IGS students saying, "Hey, welcome to our gym. You have a chance to get access through using their app. The app is called. I'm pulling up my phone here right now. 1 second. The app is called TMU Rec. I'm not sure if you can see it. Bottom, it's all blurry there. Bottom right here. Sorry, the blur. Dang it. It's gray, blue, and yellow, and it's a TMU Rec application. You can find everything from drop-in sports to getting it on a team to personal training, all these kinds of things. You can see facilities like lockers, all that kind of stuff is available through TMU. Maybe Evelyn, if you can drop the link in the chat for the TMU athletics and recreation page. In terms of other resources, though, Savannah, you're asking about, as an IGS student, you do have access to services and supports that are available at North and Lakeshore campus as a Humber student. So really, there's no how do I get access to it? You just show up and you have your N number, you'll have your virtual ID card or your one card. You can share that with folks, and it's just taken as you're a Humber student. It's not a matter of saying IGS versus Lakeshore North. Okay, questions about parking. So there is parking downtown Toronto, but again, in a dense city like ours, we don't have huge parking lots. Whereas say Lakeshore and North campuses, they're much more outside of the downtown core, much more parking available. So in terms of parking, we do recommend students to leverage the TTC, or the Toronto Transit Commission, which is public transit in Toronto, and I'll show you why. So here is Bloor Yonge Station. Bloor Yonge is the biggest subway station close to our campus, and if you look, it's a 1-minute walk away. So this is our campus right here. I'll do a quick Google Street View. So here's our campus. Loads. So our campus, we're the 4th, 5th, and 6th floor of this building right here, 59 Hayden, right there. And then TTC, some construction on the street, but TTC is right. One more click, 2 more clicks, and we're there. There's TTC, the red right there. So it's literally like 60 seconds away. So I would recommend folks to take transit. If you're like, I'm not sure how to use transit or how does that all operate, I wanted to do a quick share of this. Here's Bloor Yonge Station. If I click it, it shows all the lines in the city. So the line 2 is green and the yellow is called line 1. If I zoom out, you can see how far reaching our campuses. We are the center of 2 of the biggest transit lines in the country. So we are well accessible by transit. Unless you're really dead set on driving a car, it's tough and kind of expensive for parking, way cheaper and way more convenient for do transit. Okay, sorry, I'm neglecting the chat here. Sahil, I see your hand. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, excited to join the Humber IGS campus. Just want to know how is the winter going on there currently, because I'm hearing that Canada is known for its extreme winters. So
How would we describe? Okay, I'm going to ask my folks that are not born in Canada. So I know Evelyn and Tejo are not born in Canada. What's your take on the winter? And Micah too. Micah's not born in Canada either. So, but Micah's from a cold part of the U.S., so I'm not sure that counts. So Evelyn, Tejo, give me your take on winter in Toronto.
Yeah, I will be transparent. The first time I experienced winter was back in New York, and it was very, very cold. So yes, you should. I mean, it's only while you're outside. Most of the time, you're either in the subway or inside a building. So it's just those few moments that you are just commuting between the subway or the bus and getting into the building. So it's cold. Yes, I would not say no. It's nothing. No, it is cold, but it's not unbearable. You can, otherwise nobody will live here. So it's just a matter for you to layer. That would be my pro tip. Make sure that you wear a bunch of layers. So t-shirt, sweater, a hoodie, and your jacket. And believe it or not, the hat is where that make a huge difference. Most of the heat goes from the head. So as far as you have a good hat, you will be good. And I will pass it to Tejo for his take.
Yeah, actually, I'm from South Korea, and especially I'm from where the weather is really nice, and then often I didn't see the snow when I was in my country. So if you are from a country that you don't often see snowing, you will see a lot of snowing while you're in Canada, and to be honest, that's something that you may enjoyable because if you never I mean like if you don't often see the snow in your country, of course weather can be quite challenging. As Evelyn said, be prepared to have like the warm jacket, and then also make sure to have your glove and then your muffler as well. But again, the good thing is that our campus is really close to the TTC station, where the distance from the station and our college really is short. So that's a really good thing, because when I was a student, I studied at North Campus, and when the weather is not good, it was quite challenging to commute from my school. So yeah. Yeah,
I'm gonna weigh into one more thing there. Sorry to cut you off, Joe. I also don't want people to be afraid of this, right? I think like you're having a new opportunity. You're going to a new country. Like I encourage you to embrace it. To me, like everyone's like, oh, the snow. The snow is not the cold part. It's actually the wind. I think that can be the most challenging part of winter. Snow is great. Like get out in the snow, build a snowman, like go skiing, like go do ice skating. Like winter activity in the city and around Toronto, like in the GTA, Greater Toronto Area. Like I think it's more just like it's about reframing the weather piece. If you make it a bigger thing, I think it can kind of like get to you a little bit. It's about getting outside, I think, is the best thing. Layer up. I would actually add, I think the hat, Evelyn, like you said, but also good footwear. Because if you're wearing regular running shoes and your shoes get wet a little bit and then it's cold, that's where you get really cold. So I think good footwear and a good hat, layer up, you'll be fine. Like we do it all the time. I'm in my 30s. I've been here my whole life. You'll get by. And students do come here and then they wish to stay in Canada, right? They want to come and they want to stick around. So I think that's cool. Also, Toronto in the winter is not that cold compared to other parts of Canada. Toronto is such a big city, so it's kind of hotter in cities. If you go outside Toronto, it can be a little bit colder. But in the city, it's not so bad. You'll be okay. Okay, how do we apply for part-time jobs on campus? I can start with that question, and then maybe I'll let others add. I know we have the Career Connect. Micah, maybe you can talk about that really briefly. We do have a select few student ambassador roles that Tejo recruits for. Maybe he can speak to that. So maybe I'll kind of go Tejo briefly to talk about student ambassador, but Micah to talk about the bulk of roles through the Career Connect.
Yeah, so we do have our student ambassadors at IGS campus, and that their role is to represent the IGS campus as a student. Uh, so they do have their own community hours, where that is a space for our student to meet our student ambassadors, but also connect with other peer members. And also our student ambassadors regularly host their own event. So that's about it. And also every semester we recruit our student ambassadors, and then once the application is open, you can apply, you can submit your application to become a student ambassador, but usually the application will be open for the student who finished their first semester.
Thanks, Tejo. So it's maybe something to aspire for, and maybe being involved in the peer mentorship program, get connected to the campus, and by semester 2, you could apply for that role. So we're a small campus. We don't have a lot of roles on campus, and so I want to just manage expectations. But Micah, can you speak more about that as well?
Yeah, just to echo that. So there's two sort of job boards for Humber. There's the MyIGS job board, which highlights roles that are available at IGS, and that's in the portal, just on the main page of the portal. And then there's also Career Connect, which is through sort of North and Lakeshore. Yep, so there's MyIGS job board. So if roles are available at Humber, they may be posted there. And then if there are roles available at the other campuses, they're posted in Career Connect, which is through careers.humber.ca, or you can just Google it. Yep, right there. And I just want to echo a couple of things that were mentioned. So just to manage expectations, there aren't a whole lot of roles available, so it can be very competitive. So definitely recommendation is to try to find ways to get involved, peer mentorship, volunteering, just build connections with the community. And then secondly, many roles are hired, student roles are hired in the semester before the next semester. So what I mean by that is, so roles for this winter, 2024, typically have all been hired already. So it kind of works out though, because your strategy of getting involved, connecting with the community will set you up to then apply for your second semester for these student roles. You have to be thinking a bit in advance about student job opportunities on campus because they are hired in the semester before. But again, it can be very competitive. I definitely recommend looking for roles in the community as well. But something to be mindful of is that it is in the IGS job board, but also Career Connect if you're looking for that opportunity.
That's great, Micah. Thank you. I think from a context standpoint, like I think a lot of students know, and Tato, you can give me more clarity on this, but I think with their visa, that there are a lot of hours worked on campus versus hours worked off campus. It's a specific type. I know that's always a big demand, but that's why they're so competitive. Wanted to identify that. Okay, cool. Solomon, so I'm coming to global business management. Will I be strictly bound to the IGS campus? Is there a chance to move to other campuses too? I think a clarifying question would come back to that is, are you saying like, can I take classes somewhere else? So if you're a student at the IGS, your academic experience, your courses, your classes, your like all that's happening here. But in terms of like services and supports, you're welcome to go elsewhere. But we also have the majority, if not all of those supports in some shape or form through the IGS campus. So it's not a matter of saying that you're like bound to a campus, but in terms of your academic experience, you are taking courses, doing your assignments, doing your exams, your group work, everything academic is with the campus of your course. I know sometimes students are like, oh shoot, I wanted to be in that campus or that change campuses, that sort of thing. I want to just like name this right now. It's very difficult and very unlikely for students to be eligible to change their campus. When you accept your offer, you're accepting it per campus. There's a whole multitude of reasons for that. You can talk about that at your faculty session if you really want to know why. But just kind of just managing expectations. If you are an IGS student, we're excited to have you here at our campus in our community. Awesome. Great questions. Final call for questions, and I want to show one last thing before we wrap up. The final call for questions. And again, if you're like, oh shoot, I missed it, you can always go to ask a question in the portal and ask them there. Okay, here we go. So last thing I want to share, and then we'll call it. This is a kind of little plug for. Oopsie, oops, sorry, I pressed the top share. One second, sorry. This is a little plug for Tejo's team. So let's go to this. So if you were to casually look at under events in the portal, and you're like, hey, this sounds really exciting. I'm really keen to learn about the IGS campus, but like, Todd just showed me a Google Street View of it, but like, what is it all about? We're actually hosting an Instagram Live virtual neighborhood tour on this Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, so Toronto time. And so if you want to check that out, go on Instagram, go to Humber at Humber Global, or there's the link to it right there. So maybe you want to book to that event just so you can kind of bookmark it for yourself. I'll put the link in the chat just to kind of save some people from having to like go ahead and find this again. But I wanted to kind of share that just so that you can check that out. We're also doing we're doing campus tour too, Tejo. So I know we have the virtual tour on the 15th. Are we doing a campus tour as well?
So we already did virtual campus tour a few
Okay.
weeks ago, and then the neighborhood tour gonna happen tomorrow. But during the orientation week, we're gonna have an in-person campus tour. So please don't miss out this opportunity to look around our campus in person.
I love that. And you know what? That's a great point. We're not doing neighborhood tours during startup, but we are doing campus tours. So in other words, you haven't really missed anything because as you just said, we're going to have that. Great plug there, Tejo. I love that. So on the actual orientation page, do we have the campus tours captured? Yes, we do. So there's campus tours. You can see this is the same page as before under January 4th. I think, are we just the 4th, Evelyn, or are we doing it on multiple days?
4th and 5th.
4th and 5th. So you can book your tour, that spot. You just come in. This is for campus tours, but neighborhood tour, check it out. I think it's Vignesh, and who else is doing it, Tejo? Who else do we have on it?
Vignesh and then Bhumika. They are our
Awesome.
wonderful student ambassadors. So
they're so good. No, they're going to show you around the neighborhood. You'll see how close the TTC is and all that kind of good stuff. Love it. Last thing I'm going to share, and then I'm going to end my time. If I go back to the schedule, we've been talking about the proximity of transit, but on the, where is it, Evelyn? Here you go. On the 4th, we're doing a student discount card for, you have to get your photo ID done for that through the Toronto Transit Commission. It's not a Humber thing. You have to do it in the community, but we're taking students to get their photos done to get a discount on transit as a student discount. So wanted to kind of help with that as well. So that's a cool program happening by the student ambassadors again on January the 4th.
That's to get a discount for your TTC, pretty much, guys. So students that are in a higher education like yourselves, they have a discount as for you guys to use the subway. So don't miss that out.
Awesome. Okay, loads and loads of info, but I think we'll wrap it up. I'll throw it over to you, Evelyn. You can close this out.
Great. So thank you, everybody. I hope that you got all the brief information that you need before you come to Canada. Just a few things that I want to let you know. The college is going to be closed from December 21st to January 2nd. So if you send and ask a question during those few days that we will be closed due to the holidays, you can expect an answer on the first week of class in January, just because on the first 3 days we will be running orientation. But if it's an urgent question, please feel free to come to campus and somebody from our team will be happy to assist you. So that's from us. I want just to wish you all a safe flight to Canada. If you are not here yet, if you're here, please enjoy the holidays. Toronto is a beautiful city to enjoy the holidays. And that's from us. So I know for me, sometimes I go into a webinar and then I don't have any questions. And after 2 hours, like, oh my God, I remember a question. So don't forget, like Todd mentioned, to ask the question in the portal. We will be until next Thursday in here to support you. And I'm very happy that we will be having the chance to meet in person in the week of January 3rd. So thanks again for attending, and we hope to see you soon.